wasn't always getting done.
Yeah, same
So
thing
like
for the clips.
it's not replacing this portion of the show where we're talking. It's replacing the portion of the show that was things that we didn't want to do. Procedural generation's been in games for a long time. Right? Yeah. The idea that software is taking a set of rules or constraints that is maybe human curated and is taking it to a degree where the initial human could have never foreseen it. You know, when you look at games like Minecraft, you can't even imagine what could be over the next hill. It's what makes that worth exploring. That sort of it gets me really excited. When we talk about an MMO, one of the problems with like the world of Azeroth or something is that once you spend enough hours in it, it starts to feel small. And the reason it feels small is because the artists can only draw and implement so quickly. Yeah. So like, I'm really excited for AI as like a tool, as an augment, for specifically games the scale of MMOs, because MMOs, like what makes MMOs really special to me is I want to explore. And just imagine if Azeroth in the next season of Discovery, they're like, hey, we're trying this out. Azeroth's going to be 4 times the size. Go. Yeah. Right.
You've actually just brought up something super, super interesting that a lot of people haven't touched on, because when you're talking about Minecraft, you know, like what's over that hill in this procedurally generated thing, I think there's an important distinction that a lot of people don't make, which is the difference between procedural generation and guided procedural generation. Right. And that's what Minecraft is, right? Guided. If it was procedural generation, it would just be a higgledy-piggledy mess of blocks everywhere, and it wouldn't mean anything. So like you were saying, that set of rules has to be there. And currently, I think on social media in particular right now, like YouTube Shorts, we are seeing unguided procedural generation in YouTube Shorts. We are seeing people, I'm going to expose a secret here that most content creators are probably going to wince at. Everyone just takes a podcast and throws it into Opus Clip, draws out the top 10 clips and dumps them onto Shorts. Now, if you give it context, such as, hey, here's my podcast, I want the cool moments from this. Sure, you're going to get what it perceives as cool moments. If you just throw in any random Mr. Beast video and just take whatever Opus gives you as the top clip, this is where you just end up with AI-generated slop that has no meaning or coherence to it, right? It just is. It isn't anything. It just is. It exists. Right. That's it. And we're going to see that with games before we see people using it properly.
So how about this? How about I throw this, right? I might be 100% wrong about this, but I bet you 90% of people here have actually used AI and not even thought they're using AI.
Of course. Yes. Of course.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because DLSS is a version of AI.
Yeah. Right. So Photoshop's mostly AI now?
Yeah. So I press a button in Photoshop and it does the thing that I would have to like zoom in and make sure.
Removal's so good.
Dude,
it's so much better than the marquee tool now or the magic wand. You just press a button, done. Couldn't do it better myself. So why do it myself?
So if you're playing a video game, there's a huge chance you're using the version of DLS to upscale. And that uses Nvidia AI to work out the frames and stuff like that.
And it's not going to get worse.
No, this is the worst it's ever been right now. Whenever you're watching this, even when you're watching this in the future, that's the worst it will ever be. That's the advantage of it, is it's just getting better and better and better. I worked in property tax consulting a few years ago, and we had an AI tool that what it allowed us to do was pull comparables more rapidly. So normally when you're comparing for the purpose of contesting property taxes here in Texas, you would be looking for 3 to 5, depending on the county, comparable properties based on certain criteria. And we built an AI that goes out and it grabs all of the property records from every source it can. It combines them so they're all under, so we have as much information on each address as possible. And then it says, here's 25 that we think are good. Now, me as the human, it's not gonna contest for them. But what it will do is it'll pull 25, and then I can pull the best 3 or 5 for a coherent argument. And that's where I think AI can go in gaming. Is I don't think the goal should be to replace the artists entirely. But I do think the goal could be, okay, imagine if a voice actor could help spin up a voice and give it 5,000 words, 10,000 words, give it those words in different tones, yell, scream, be angry, be sad, be calm, whisper. And then an AI tool could take those samples, and now we have something that could populate 1 million lines of dialogue which the voice actor just could literally never have time for. Right now, to get a Baldur's Gate 3, we have to individually record all million lines of dialogue. But how do we have an AI voice actor that trains a voice? And then one of the big hard questions about that is, how does that AI actor get paid for that? Who pays who and for how long?
That is the big question. So that is, I think, the biggest point of contention right now for the average worker in these industries.